powder. Another here. Got some more. Doesn't fall. Another one. And another one. And last but not least, well, souls are dirty, but Seattle's. Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Rolo, aka Dunks and Ice, and welcome back to my channel. Again, this is my new segment I'm going to be doing on my channel on every Mondays. I'm going to be talking about a Jordan shoe or anything Jordan related. As y'all can see, I had a couple OG boxes here, the retro boxes, and the retro of the retro boxes, and a stack of 10s over here. We're going to be talking about OG 10s and 10s in general. But without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, before I jump into it, I'm just going to set down everything apart. Let's just take these down. We're going to start off with most of all the OGs. The ones I'm missing, these boxes going down there. Woo! Seattle's, Orlando's, Knicks, Sacramento, Chicago's, Charlotte's, Steel, Shadows, and whatever else colorway they have. Okay, so before I get into actually the shoes itself, I want to point out something with the boxes. It's kind of interesting how we have a 9.5. Well, let's just set this one down real quick. It's interesting how we both got a 9.5 box here, and the shape of the box is totally different. You got one that's more like slim or thin, and you got this one that's more a little wider in terms of the box itself. You guys can see it here. Well, let me there you go. Oh, there we go. Exactly like that. You know what I mean? The boxes itself back in the day, it was more of an inconsistency how they did it, and it was very interesting because then again, you know, these both were in, you know, this is let's see, we got the powders and then the powders, you know, both were 9.5, and as you guys can see, the box itself is pretty much a different size, width, and length, but just want to point that out with the original boxes. Exactly what the title says, and I really want to point out that before anyone says anything, that I am missing the OG Stills and the Sacramento, so that's why you guys don't see them actually up here. And the title of the video is basically stating the best colorway of 10s in general. Now, for me, if we were going to talk about that, is none other than the Seattle 10s. And I think I stated this before in my videos, how if there was one 10 that would be retroed or just to have, it would be none other than the Seattle 10s. I love the color combo of this. I like the hit of the yellow with the green, with the black, and all of MJ's, you know, goals and accolades and everything that he's done, accomplished throughout from like 85 all the way up to, what is it, 94? Exactly, yeah. Now, with the title of the video stating the best colorway of the 10s, that means I'm stating pretty much the original 10s. I can go in depth with the retros or the newer colorways, but I'm pretty much going to be sticking more of like the original colorways. Besides that, we do have the Shadows, we do have the OG Chicago's, we do have the beautiful Knicks or New York colorway, we do have the Orlando, which I'm going to talk about both with the Knicks and the Orlando's because a lot of people do get them mixed up, and we're going to have, well, I'm going to jump into this real quick, and of course the Charlottes or the powders, which is probably the most common colorway. And out of all the colorways of the original 10s from 94-95, the Seattle 10s is by far my favorite and probably one of the more sought after ones in terms of, I guess, like what people like in the 10s. But man, the Seattle 10s is by far my all-time favorite of the OG 10s. In my prediction with the OG 10s, especially the Seattles and the ones that haven't been retroed, I think they're going to bring those back out within 3 to 5 years. Now, that doesn't technically mean it's a bad thing, because when a lot of shoes do get retroed, a lot of them are sleepers. And that's cool with me. You know, a lot of people like that and some people don't. But regardless of how many times they are going to retro this, or if they do, it doesn't change the fact that this is my favorite colorway of the OG 10s. And what I like about it, again, is how there's the hit of the yellow and the combination of green. It just stands out so much more compared to the blue or the red. But if I couldn't choose these, I would easily pick the Chicago's itself. I don't know what it is. I don't know why. I just really like this colorway a lot. And one thing I didn't like about the 10s is how the fact that like when you wear them, they crease a lot. And for those wondering about why the Jumpman on the back is going like the same direction, which you guys can see here, like this jump band and this jump band both face the same way, that's just an indication that the shoe was made in Taiwan. You know, if it does face the opposite direction, doesn't mean it's fake or something is sus about it. That just basically means that that was shoe, well, the shoe itself was made in a different factory, and I believe, from my knowledge, is that shoe was made in Korea during the time they made the OG 10s from 94-95. Yeah, man, let's just look at the shoe up close. Here's that green yellow color combo that you guys can see that is pretty iconic on the Seattle 10s. And pretty much the 10s are known for the Jordan's goals or accolades that he did. That's from the 85 all the way up to 94 up here. And don't mind like this little caca boo-boo stand or whatever like that. I do wear these 10s from time to time for those asking if 10s are wearable. And yes, these are still wearable. The midsole is still firm and hard and everything like that. But yeah, these are still wearable. And again, I want to show a real up close shot of the 10s of the soles on the Seattles. Man, I simply love this colorway. And this green alone, I don't even think this video does justice to the fact that this green is pretty vibrant along with that yellow. And you got that all white leather upper and the black part where the tongue is. And let me show you guys something with this tongue, how it is an indentation where it says Jordan and it says 23. You got these rope laces. And you know, a very clean, elegant looking type shoe. It does have like these pull tabs where, you know, it's easy to put on and off. And just another shot of the back where the two Jumpmans are facing the same direction. Now, one thing I did want to point out is, although these are two different sizes, we have none other than the Orlandos, which does have like that gray Jumpman down here along with that royal blue. But then you have the Nyx here where it has that orange Jumpman and the same type of blue. I think this is the part where a lot of people got confused in the two, because if you were to wear them and you saw them on the side like this, you couldn't really tell the difference in the two because it's very, very similar. That goes as well with the blue lining on the inside, the sock liner. They're pretty much the same color of the blue. It was only when you actually saw the soles of the shoe that really made it the difference between you have the Nyx along with the Orlandos. Personally, for me, I really like these more. It's just, again, it's just something about this Jumpman standing out with the 10s compared to the Orlandos. And if I had to pick one, it would be the Nyx. I think that orange Jumpman along with the blue stands out so much. I don't know why, I really like that color combo with the orange and blue. It's just something about that color combo stands out so much compared to this one. Now, in the past, the most obtainable pair of the OG 10s would probably be the Steels or the Shadows that's up here, or the Powders or the Charlottes. Basic, you know, I had this shoe plenty of times in the past. I sold, I traded them. This one is pretty much still wearable, but is my beaded pair. While I still do have like a DS one, but on the sides they are like oxidized. They do have like that tint of like that teal greenish type thing on the side compared to these. You can see the two differences, how this one really stands out more. It's like a vibrant baby blue UNC type colorway, while this one is more of like a sky type blue. And on the soles itself is a huge difference. We got one that's white and one that's like oxidized, like well, it's not off-white, but it's like yellowed, it's oxidized. And you can see here the two different types of blue. This one isn't like aged or anything compared to this one, but these are both the Powders or the Charlottes of the OG 10s. Now we have the OG 10s of the Powders, and I do have the retros that came out in 2014. And you guys could clearly see here how's that vibrant soul color. So these two pairs here are actually the OGs, and this one is the retro. How, man, this thing stands out so much. So the different types of shade, this one's yellowed and aged, this one isn't, and then you have the retro, which like pretty much stands out a lot. And in terms of the two very alike with the sock liner color are pretty identical. Now I did state in this video the OG 10s, my favorite colorway would be the Seattles, but if I had to pick another alternative colorway, it would be the Chicagos. Now I don't know what it is, I don't know why. This color combo works very well together. This is the original pair of the Chicago 10s. These are from 1995. Yeah, 1995. And I can tell you right now, I do have the retros, which are right here. And I don't know if you guys can see the differences. This is the part where they did retro with the stitching on the side where it said 45. And I know a lot of times where people be like, oh, did you get the retros where it does have like the checker inside? And I wasn't really feeling that. I didn't feel like it was a true OG retro that they should have done to commemorate these 10s right here, the Chicagos, because I really did love this colorway a lot. But I don't know, when they really had like that checker thing, I was like, nah man, I ain't feeling it. But when they came out with these, this was something different that Jordan Brand did to commemorate, you know, the 10s itself. If you guys aren't familiar with the 10s, this was like a PE version where it had like the number on the side. And I'll tell you, it was like, I saw these and I was like, you know what? That's an instant call for me. It's a historic collector's type shoe. And you know, that's why I got it when it first came out. As you guys can see, here is the OG one. This pair is still wearable, but they are pretty beat. But it is kind of hard to find like a pair for a decent price. You know, I wasn't really like trying to pay a lot of money for them. I was like, you know what? I just want an OG pair of Chicago 10s to complete the set. And I still had the retros, which you guys can see. In terms of like the differences, you know, besides age and everything, they're still the same, you know. I mean, they're still Chicago 10s in the end of the day. And here they are. They got the OG pair of Chicago 10s along with the retros with the 45 on the side. Now, what was very interesting is that the Shadows were the only one including the Sacramentos, which I don't have. So if anybody has Steels or Sacramentos in a 9 or 9.5 with the OG box or without the OG box, your boy's looking for that. So if anyone wants to hit me up, or whoever has a pair in a 9, 9.5, hit your boy up. I'm looking for a pair. I would greatly appreciate it. And what's interesting about these Shadows is the fact that the Sacramentos, those were the only two that was like, you know, had like the darker look to it. And the fact that the other interesting part is like the sock liner had like this black and gray checkerboard style right here on the sock liner area. That was different. It was something different that they decided to do on these 10s alone. Now, although this pair is beat, I did get this for a very good price. I think I got it for like $20 or $40, and this was like 5 years ago. And I am still looking for a better pair, but for right now, I mean, I couldn't really beat the price of that, so I'm pretty content of having this pair for right now. What's really great about these shadows is the fact that this upper here, I don't know what it is. It's like a nubuck type suede type, I don't know if it's like Durabug or something like that. This material right here feels great, and I think that's why a lot of people like this one, because that, like, it was more of like a darker black tone type shoe that a lot of people were feeling compared to like a more white standard out type shoe. You know what I mean? Like this material and this color, I think that's another reason why people like it, along with Sacramentos. I did wish that the Sacramentos at the time did have like the same kind of vibe colorway that these had, compared to the Shadows where it's like an all black type upper. The thing with the Sacramentos, they had it like all black upper, and then on the soles, that purple stands out a lot. I'll tell you guys that right now. That purple, if you guys ever see it in person or saw it in pictures or whatever, as you guys can come close to it, those Sacramento 10s stand out so much with that purple sole. Well, in terms of like, you know, these little lines that they had color on. What I wish I did have was pretty much that they would keep that purple but have like a all white upper. And I know there was a PE version of that. That PE version is like, I've always wanted a Jordan 10 exactly like that. I think that colorway, if it did drop back in 94, 95, I think that one would simply be one of my more favorite ones. It would be a very hard debate compared to the Shadows, the Charlotte, the Powders, the Seattles, you know, all the original colorways from 94, 95. Now, before I do end this video, let me know what you guys think I should talk about in the upcoming videos, or if you guys have any suggestions or tips or any of those ideas, just comment down below. I do like reading your comments. I do like hearing out what people think, whether it's positive or negative. If you guys can comment down below, I would really appreciate that. Last but not least, let me know what you guys also think on what's your favorite type of OG colorway of the 10s, or if you do guys like the newer 10s of the colorways. And I think you guys already know my answer, that the Seattles is my all-time favorite, along with the Chicagos. If you haven't hit that thumbs up yet, please hit that thumbs up. I really appreciate it, as well as subscribing to my channel. Thanks again guys for watching my video. Until the next one, I think you guys already know it's gonna be good.